Hi, everybody. It's Brandon Marianne Lee. I am here with the Howard Bender of Fantasy Alarm. What up, Howard? How you doing?
What up? Happy week 11. I can't believe it's week 11. This football season just blown by right now. It's crazy. But now here we are in like the crazy spot of win and you're in, lose and you go home. This is make or break right now for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think a lot of playoffs start in week 13, right? Week 13, week 14. It's week 11. We're starting with a Green Bay at Seattle game, which is huge for fantasy players. There are 6 teams on bye, so we're pretty much starting everyone everywhere, unless they're on bye. Now, the good news is that the teams on bye are a little tragic, Howard. I'm going to read them for you so that we can lament that these teams exist. The Bills, the Browns, the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Jets, and the 49ers.
I think the Patriots and the Browns are probably the 2 worst teams of that entire group.
In terms of, well,
I'm just kidding.
Are the Browns better than the Dolphins? I don't know.
The Jets and the Bills are atrocious. They're on bye, but it doesn't even matter because nobody was using any of them anyway. Like Isaiah Crowell, maybe. LaShawn McCoy, maybe. Other than that, were you starting Kelvin Benjamin? Getting yourself some Jermaine Curse?
What can I say, Howard? If you start Bills players, you are tragic. Let's just put that out there. I think LaShawn McCoy is the only one who had a big bounce back last week, which is kind of fun. But other than that, yeah, you're right. It just is not good. Okay, so everyone, we're going to get to your questions. But first, we're going to cover this first game, Green Bay at Seattle. I think the big news here is going to be Chris Carson. And the reason why I say that is because he's playing. So anyone who picked up Rashad Penny, I would suggest you sit back down. I'm still playing Mike Davis, though, because this team does use 2 running backs all the time. And by the way, Rashad Penny, not a terrible pickup because Chris Carson going in and out of injury is pretty much the norm. If Chris Carson's out again, Rashad Penny becomes viable. But today, I'm sitting Penny. Any other thoughts on this?
Listen, I think if you've got Chris Carson, he's a start. He's a must start. I think it's a good matchup here against the Packers, especially with the way that Pete Carroll's been running the ball. Listen, Schottenheimer and Carroll already came out earlier this week, and they've said Rashad Penny's role is massively reduced. He's still learning the offense. He's still doing things that the coaching staff doesn't like. Like they're literally, I think one of the quotes was Schottenheimer talking about Rashad Penny in a team meeting, being like, Rashad, are you paying attention here? So they're not happy with him. I know he did well last week, but I think this is mostly Chris Carson with a splash of Mike Davis and nothing from Rashad Penny, or at least nothing worthwhile.
Yeah, and here's my thing. I think this is I'm not going to get into this because it has nothing to do with fantasy. I think this is a coaching indictment. You have this talented first-round pick and you can't get him to pay attention to your meetings. That's on you. I mean, I'm sorry. Like you have to find some way to reach this kid because you spent so much draft capital on him. If you can't, that's on you. I'm sorry. He's not like someone that can't be coached. That was proven in college. So something went wrong here. I don't know what it is, but certainly we saw the potential. The talent is still there. Seattle's just decided that they don't care to use it, though, for whatever reason. So,
well, I mean, listen, if he's having trouble picking up the offense and he's not 100% on there, listen, I know. I mean, it was a great showing. 12 carries, 108 yards. That's fine. Okay, great. But, I mean, if he's missing blocking assignments, if he's not running, a route the way he's supposed to do, if he's not following his blockers the way he's supposed to do, then,
I still feel like you spent a first-round pick on this guy. You got to figure it out. And they've just decided they don't need to figure it out because they have Chris Carson. And then they don't need to figure it out because they have Mike Davis. And that's fine because that's all we need to know as fantasy players. They don't want to figure it out. Again, it has nothing to do with fantasy. In real football, though, if I were the manager, I'd be heaved off.
But I mean, if the other guys are playing better and they put you in a better chance to win games and actually squeeze into a wild card spot, that's what's most important. It's not, listen, we've got Rashad Penny. He is under control with this team for next 4 years. He's either going to get it or he's not going to get it, but we have time with him still to help him develop more. Let's win now. Let's make money.
But I would say that what we saw last week makes me wonder if really the other guys are that much better. or if there's something bizarre going on. That's my question. But you know, it doesn't matter. It's
conspiracy.
It's fantasy football. We don't care. And I always say this. You know me. I'm all about opportunities. So I don't care. Again, to me, this is a real football conversation. In fantasy, he does not get enough touches. You cannot play him. You can ask all the Rashad Penny questions you want. We're going to tell you not to play him unless it's something totally wacky doodle. But even then, I think probably wacky doodle would be better than Rashad Penny this week. Packers, any thoughts on them?
I would love more than anything to see Mike McCarthy actually continue running the ball the way he has. I mean, to give Aaron Jones the opportunity again, it's going to make things so much easier for Aaron Rodgers. It's going to open up the passing game. The pass defense for Seattle really isn't that, I mean, it's better than it's been in like the last year and a half, but it's still not that great. I think that you could really open a lot of things up with play action if you use Aaron Jones. So that's what I'm hoping for, because then I'll take my Marquez Valdez-Scantling touchdown and my Devontae Adams touchdown. But as long as I get an Aaron Jones touchdown in the middle of that.
Yeah. First of all, I do want to say this, guys. Who did Green Bay play last week, Howard?
Who did Green Bay play last week?
Miami, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the worst run defense around.
So you guys, if Aaron Jones hadn't scored over 20 fantasy points, I would tell you to drop Aaron Jones from your roster. I mean, I'm sorry. Like that is, I don't, guys, that was so obvious. It's painful. Okay. If you expect that every week, I think you're going to be very disappointed. Now, this will be the test, right? Will they continue to run it against the Seahawks? It is a decent matchup compared to everywhere else. It's not like there's a lot of easy matchups anywhere else, so possibly. But man, if there's a tough matchup against the run, bye all the usage. So I am still not I'm not a trustworthy person, or I'm a trustworthy person. I don't trust other people. There we go. So I don't trust Mike McCarthy, but you do you. All right, let's get to some of your questions. We're going to sprinkle in some news, like Joe Mixon's new knee injury. We got some stuff going on, people. How about the fact there are no wide receivers in Oakland? Does that make us like or dislike the running backs more? We'll talk about that soon. Standard, non-PPR, Graham or O.J. Howard? Oh, okay, yes. Graham or O.J. Howard, and Luck or Wilson?
Ooh, all right. Well, see, I'll go Wilson over Luck, and I'll go O.J. Howard over Jimmy Graham. How about that?
Or like any like sniff of a bad game with O.J. Howard, and people are like, I'm out. Guys, he only got 2 targets and it was 1 catch for 15 yards. I understand. Before that, he was insane. This was a weird game against Washington. It was 16-3. They couldn't get anything going. It had nothing to do with O.J. Howard. I would look for a bounce back this week against the Giants. A crazy 52 over-under for 2 trash teams. I am a little taken aback by that. I would go with the under, but I still think that means it's going to be a big game. Mike Hammy Manzo says, a Keenan Allen injury report, something to be concerned about? I mean, I'm more concerned about Keenan Allen for the season, but what are your thoughts? This Keenan Allen thing, yowza.
Yeah, it's aggravating. I mean, that's basically the only thing I can say with Keenan Allen. And I mean, listen, that's fine. You know what? If Phillip Rivers is going to connect better with Tyrell Williams, so be it. He's, but I mean, I have a hard time. You have a hard time trusting starting Aaron Jones. I have a hard time trusting Keenan Allen. And people have been like, wow, you're crazy. You telling me to bench Keenan Allen? I'm like, the guy is not getting into the end zone at all. And it's not like he's
did last week.
Well, yeah, but that was what? His first one since what? Week 3?
Week one.
And
then, but the week before that, he got over 100 yards. I think they are trying to get him more involved since the bye week in week 8. But if he is injured, they don't have to, because they've been doing it with everyone else all season. So yes, I guess my answer to that question is yes, I would be concerned, mostly because the other guys have been pulling the load into the last 2 weeks anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? I mean, there's just no way. Also, I think it's interesting that it's both a hip and a finger. I don't know if that means that both are just minor, or if this is like he's just like totally banged up. So I would definitely keep an eye on it. And that's why we also have a show on Sunday mornings, everybody, from 11 till noon. Plug. Also, Baldwin or Kirk?
Ooh, see, I've got a feeling about Baldwin.
Yeah.
I do. But Kirk gets, I mean, if it's PPR, Kirk gets all the targets.
Yeah.
Not all the targets, but he gets significant targets. He gets like at least a half a dozen targets per game from Josh Rosen. And this matchup is ridiculous against Oakland's secondary. So as much as I have a feeling about Baldwin, I'm still going to go with Kirk in this decision.
How do you feel about him being so bad last week at Kansas City?
Who, Kirk? I think it's a different type of matchup here, I think. See, for me, when you're talking about Oakland versus Arizona, Zona can play their game. David Johnson, he can just, they don't have to sit in passing mode. They can just play a regular game, let the receivers run their routes, and David Johnson takes the carries between the tackles. That he's not so needed there. In the game against Kansas City, it was like, trying to keep pace with the Chiefs as far as, their high up-tempo offense, high-scoring ways. It's just different formations that I think is really what you're looking at. So I think there was no fooling the Kansas City defense into thinking that they were suddenly just going to keep running the ball incessantly. I don't think that it's the same thing with Oakland here, and I think that this could be just a regular good game for Christian Kirk.
And I want to say this too, over the last 4 games, the Kansas City defense has only allowed 1 touchdown, and that was to Tim Patrick. I mean, Tim Patrick, you gotta watch out for Tim Patrick. So anyway, he's the only guy who's been able to do it. So actually, their defense has been stepping up to the plate. So I do want to give that warning, and that's especially for like people that are going to stream Josh Reynolds. I think there might be a little bit of too much optimism there, but still, I just want to put that out there. All right, PPR flex need 2: Philip Lindsay, Chris Carson, Larry Fitzgerald, MVS, or Jalen Richard. It's Lindsay and Carson for me. How about you?
I'm still writing names down. Lindsey, Carson, MVS, Jalen Richard, and Fitz. Ooh, I do love Fitz, but no, I'm going to you got to put it in the hands of the running backs here. The guys who are going to touch the ball 15 times a game, that's who I want in my flex spot or in my, in any spot. So Lindsey and Carson for me.
Philip Lindsay is incredible. Watch tape again. Hello. Hi, Colin Day. Hello, Felix. Mike Davis or Jalen Richard, half-point PPR. Intriguing.
Mike Davis or Jalen Richard, half-point PPR?
Yeah. So Martavis Bryant's out. Mm-hmm. Jordy Nelson is maybe out with a knee injury, not practicing.
Retired.
So basically, we got Brandon LaFell, Jared Cook,
Seth Roberts,
Jalen Richard. I mean, those are the people that catch the ball because Doug Martin ain't going to catch any balls, people. But they're going to lean on the run because they have, even though they've gotten blown out. He's gotten at least 11 carries, Mr. Martin there. But do you think Richard's going to get more fantasy points than Mike Davis? Never scores touchdowns. Never.
Yeah. I don't like this one. I'm going to defer to you. I have no opinion on this whatsoever. All right, Mike Davis.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Mike Davis.
I'm going to go
because I just feel like Mike Davis is the one that gets a lot of the goal line work over there, and I think that he has a better chance of that. I just think there's zero upside with Jalen Richard right now because there's no one else there. Do you disagree? I mean, to me,
I agree.
Solid points.
Talking about using Davis versus Richard. Like, how bad is your team, or how many bye week issues do you have here? Ugh.
Well, I mean, a lot of people have been starting Richard as like this safe flex play, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. But if you have a guy who has like goal line work, Jalen Richard has 0 touchdowns on the season with a ton of. Oh no, not that. No. We're going Mike Davis. All right. Full point PPR, Beasley or Reynolds? Yeah, that's going to be a big question for people right there. That's a lot of those borderline wide receivers. You're probably in a league where you have to start like 4 and you're dying inside.
I think you got to give Josh Reynolds the look here. I mean, the 63.5 over under, Everybody's getting involved in this one. If you look at the DVOA coverage numbers, the wide receiver 3 is really where Kansas City has been struggling this season. Tim Patrick. Exactly. There you go. Don't be Tim Patrick. Get him into your lineup. I like Josh Reynolds here. Yeah. I can't use
I can't use Beasley. So the answer is Reynolds, but I'm a little more cautious about Reynolds than other people. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, you guys. If you have questions on Periscope, for some reason your questions disappeared. So ask again. Someone just said Boyd, and I have no idea what that question was referring to because there are literally no more questions ahead of that. So if you see the word Boyd by Young Evity 100, hi, go ahead and ask those questions because everything else disappeared. All right, we got YouTube questions galore though, so don't worry, we definitely are not running out of questions. Eric Ebron or Jimmy Graham, PPR.
How do you not go Ebron? I understand that Jack Doyle sees more snaps here, but Eric Ebron consistently gets into the end zone.
They only use tight ends. Mo Alley Cox.
What is that all about,
guys,
right?
He's scoring touchdowns. So you know what? I just say, we got to do it. We got to do it. Weasley Beasley, no way was the comment. And Periscope. I am looking Periscope intermittently now to make sure nothing disappears here. Boyd or Funchess is the question. I go Boyd.
Boyd or Funchess? I see. Here's the thing. I'm going to go against Boyd. I'm going to say Funchess here. I like the matchup for Funchess. Even if Darius Slay is playing, because here's the thing. What we saw with Boyd this past week, no A.J. Green, all the extra coverage went Boyd's way, and Andy Dalton couldn't thread the needle to him. He just could not get him the ball.
But that whole game was just hideous.
Of course it was hideous. You don't think that this game's going to have a little bit of hideousness to it also?
No, it'll definitely be hideous. But I feel like the Ravens' offense is going to be hideous. Listen, there are only two options here. One option is that a hurt Joe Flacco goes out there and is terrible. The other option is that we got Robert Griffin III out there, and we know that's just bad news. So they're going to be in better field position all day. I mean, they just got roasted last week. It wasn't even, it was like a beat down. I don't think that happens this week. So, but there's no, by the way, there's no line right now. I kept being like, am I just not checking this correctly? What am I missing? They still haven't put it out, probably because there's so many freaking injuries. And if Joe Mixon's out, no, I agree. So I guess I go Funchess here, but I don't like Funchess this week either. I mean, yes, if Darius Slay's out, that's better. But they just spread it around so much there. Maybe you know what? No, go Funchess, but you know, I need two: Sanders, Lockett, Dalvin Cook, or Chris Godwin.
You need two: Sanders, Lockett, Sanders, and Dalvin Cook for me. I know everybody's afraid. Everybody's afraid of the Bears' defense. Yes, I get it. Bears' defense is rock solid, but Minnesota's going to have to, try and establish the run. They're going to have to do it. And, I'm going to go Dalvin Cook.
I agree with you. Dalvin Cook struggled except for that one big run. Okay. So of his 89 yards, 70 of it came off of one big run. I'm a little trepidatious, but I am going to go with the running back here regardless. I think they're just going to have to establish some sort of run because that's how their offense runs. Tight end whisperer, Heuerman or Ricky Seals-Jones? Jeff Heuerman? I can't ever say his name. Say it for me now. Okay, great. So the first game that Demaryius Thomas is out, this guy catches 10 of his 11 targets for over 80 yards and a touchdown. This is a tight end, people. I don't know how you ignore that because there was a change and we were wondering where are those targets going to go? And then it was like, boop. Now, I don't think that's going to happen every single week, but this week it's a pretty decent matchup against the Chargers, who allowed George Kittle to go over 100 yards and a touchdown, and then 3 touchdowns. They allowed 3 touchdowns to the Colts.
Yeah, that they did. Listen, yeah, Ricky Seals-Jones is he's like a take a dart, and try it out. It's a great. I do too, and it's a great matchup for him. We were both on him in the preseason, and he's seeing decent targets there. But the fact is that. Herman, Hooby, is just that's where the targets are kind of deflecting there. You've got Sanders and you've got Courtland Sutton. Great, that's fine, but you still need, more receiving targets. And if they're going to just start incorporating the tight end, which is what Keenan is comfortable with that. So I like it.
Okay, this question's going to make me uncomfortable, but half-point PPR, Van Nett or Graham?
Yeah, I'm a little uncomfortable there.
Yeah, I think we have to go Graham, but if you told me that Graham left with 3 catches for 40 yards and Van Nett has a touchdown, I would believe you.
Right?
So that's my problem with this question, but I can't tell you to start Van Nett over Graham.
He's no Will Disley, that's for damn sure.
They both are bad matchups. Both Green Bay and Seattle are good against tight ends, so that's also why I'm uncomfortable about this. So any other thoughts from you, or do you like Van Nett? Do you like Van Nett better than Graham?
No, I like Van Nett as a dart throw here. Graham is, Graham is Graham, and
more upside.
You run just as big a risk of Van Nett not getting anything as you do Graham. So do you go with just the better talent, the guy who's, likely to see it? I mean, I got to go Graham. I don't like it, but I got to go Graham.
No, we don't like it, but that's life. John Brown or Courtland Sutton in my flex. Full point PPR, worried about the Ravens quarterback situation. Me too. I go Courtland Sutton.
Yeah, then just I love that. I love that. When people are like, oh man, I need to start player A or player B, but man, I really hate what player B is looking like in his matchup. And I'm like, then just go with player A. Like, you don't even have to ask me that. If you don't like the matchup, you don't like the play, trust your instincts. Go with your gut.
You want to run it by someone just in case because you're like, am I overreacting? John Brown was such a big thing at the beginning of the season. I think people have a tough time letting him go. I hear you. I just completely agree with what you say, what you said. So, yes, I would go with Courtland Sutton. Diggs, Aaron Jones, or Mike Evans. Whoa, in the flex. Non-PPR. Thanks, guys. Then you have to go Aaron Jones.
Yeah? Right? You like Aaron Jones over Evans? I guess. I don't know. I just feel like the Giants' pass defense, the Giants' defense has just quit on the season. Janoris Jenkins he's been terrible. So him facing, shadowing Mike Evans or even just trying to cover Mike Evans, I feel like, I would probably lean Evans here. I could understand, obviously, the case for Jones just as the running back. But again, the big question is, will Mike McCarthy run him or will Mike McCarthy be an a-hole? Yeah,
well, that's always a chance. Always a chance. I agree with that. I think my only question here then is, who are you starting above Aaron Jones and Mike Evans and Stephon Diggs?
Yeah, right? I had somebody ask me a question today, and it was like, who do I sit between Leonard Fournette, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, and Adam Thielen? And I was like, well, who's in your starting lineup? They haven't gotten back to me yet. I'm really kind of curious about that. Because it's like, I play in a 3-team league.
Yeah, it's actually just me, and then I set up 2 other teams just to play with myself. Okay, so I would say this about these teams, though. I must say this. If you play in an 8-team league, which a lot of people do, people sometimes kind of poo-poo that. It's actually very difficult to play in an 8-team league because everyone has a good team, and you do have to play the matchups actually more so than if you're in a 10, 12, or a 14-team league. A lot of people don't understand that. It's a different game. It has a different complexity. So maybe that's what this question is about. I mean, this might be an 8-team league. They've just killed it on the waiver wire, and maybe the waiver wire people have just kind of been better. So now this is what it is. So very, very intriguing. Also, Burton or OJ Howard, non-PPR?
I'm still on OJ Howard here.
I think I am too, you guys. One bad game is not going to get me away from this man. It's just not going to do it. You can't throw me away. Emmanuel Sanders, Tyler Boyd, MVS, or John Brown in the flex. Again, Sanders, one bad game. I'm not throwing it away.
Me neither. Sanders for me as well.
Not doing it. Carson or Collins, full point PPR. I do like Collins this week because they have to use him, even if they don't want to. The dirty little secrets, if it's Flacco playing hurt or RG3 being disastrous, they got to run the ball. I still think I go Chris Carson here, though, because it doesn't matter. They're going to use him if they're in a good place or a bad place. That team wants to run. It's like one team likes their player and the other team doesn't.
Right, and that was actually the funny thing. We had this discussion on the SiriusXM show because yesterday somebody called in and asked Carson versus Collins, and Jim said to go with Carson, and I agreed with him. And then today we were just talking about crappy run defenses, and I was like, you got to look at Cincinnati. I mean, their run defense is horrible. They're giving up 140 yards per game, blah blah blah, this and that. And then so Jim was like, "Oh, well, should we have told the guy yesterday that he should have gone with Collins instead of Carson?" And I was like, you know what? The reason I'm starting Carson is because I know that Pete Carroll's going to run him. I have no clue what John Harbaugh is going to do.
The other thing I don't know about is Ty Montgomery. Now, my assumption is that Ty Montgomery is going to dig into the Demaryius Allen touches more than the Alex Collins touches based on the fact that he was a wide receiver, right? And Demaryius Allen's been more of a wide receiver back. But if you remember the beginning of the season, and actually even now somewhat, they still run Demaryius Allen too. And they still throw the ball to Alex Collins. So I don't know. So that's the other thing, too. For me, there's just too many question marks with the Ravens in general this week. If I can fade every single player there, I am. Collins is the only one that's questionable, but not when it's against Aaron or Chris Carson. Shall we? Wentz or Rodgers this week?
I'm sorry. Can you do that voice for me one more time?
Shall we?
All right, give one more time.
Shall we? All right. Aaron Rodgers in a tough matchup. Carson Wentz in an easy matchup against the Saints. Dude, why haven't you traded one of these guys yet?
I know, right? Well, that's always the question. You can't use both, and that's just
frustrating.
You know what? I mean, I love this matchup for Wentz. I really do. Like, how do you sit Aaron Rodgers? I get it. How do you sit Aaron Rodgers? But, I mean, you're looking at the point total here. It's like a 56 over-under or 54 over-under for this Eagles-Saints game. Both teams run the ball, stop the run really well. Both teams are lousy against the pass. I feel like this is just going to be a big fireworks shootout type thing here, where it's Breeze versus Wentz, and for that I'm gonna tilt towards Wentz here.
Love it. I'm going to piggyback on that for a second. Golden Tate was not involved at all with the first Philadelphia game, which is common, by the way, when wide receivers get traded. Usually what happened with Demaryius Thomas in Houston isn't what happens. But would you play Golden Tate this week against the Saints?
It depends on who my other options are, but I'd probably be leaning against it because I just, I have to hedge against a wide receiver. As talented as Golden Tate is,
yes. Yeah.
The problem is that, he lived in the slot in Detroit, Last week, Nelson Aguilar was in the slot the entire time, or at least most of the time. So they're moving Golden Tate around. They're trying to figure out where the best fit is for him. And because of that, I can't trust him. I can't trust him at all. So
yeah, I thought this was a weird trade, and the game last week didn't make me feel any better about it. Let's put it that way.
I kind of feel like this trade, I haven't looked at what Golden Tate's contract situation is, whether he's a free agent at the end of the year or not, but I kind of feel like this trade was made as a block trade. Like somebody like the Saints were looking at picking up Golden Tate. Somebody, and even if you talk about somebody like the Washington Redskins picking up Golden Tate, he would vibe with Alex Smith beautifully.
Yeah, and so I don't know why they didn't actually. They're the head of the division, and I don't know why they didn't trade for a wide receiver. It will always blow my mind.
Yeah, I think they tried to, and Philadelphia just, we're going to go for the block. Circle gets the square.
That's right. Love it. So many questions, you guys, on YouTube. Love you. Non-PPR need 2 wide receivers. I have Boyd, Ridley, D-Jax, Sutton.
Ew. So I guess in this one I would probably go with Sutton and Boyd. I don't like it, but I just think that their matchups are just better, and I think that they're just better quality receivers. Who knows what's happening with Ridley now? He had that string of 2 great games or 3 great games, and he's done bupkis since. So
yeah. I used bupkis in my video for bargains this week, you guys. So Bupkis is sweeping the nation. Full point PPR need to Aaron Jones, Leonard Fournette, or Calvin Ridley. Jones and Fournette.
Yep. Easy.
Would you sit Allen Robinson for Snead or Christian Kirk? No, not this week, but I do like Snead rest of the season better than Allen Robinson, if you can believe it. So,
yeah, well, I mean, again, it's
one big game did not change
the ball. Who's throwing Willie the ball?
Yeah, and so we can't do that this week. And then Christian Kirk again. Josh Rosen's throwing the ball, but like full point PPR, Lamar Miller or Courtland Sutton?
Lamar Miller.
Yeah,
I think it's a good matchup for him, and he's going to see those touches.
Yeah. Lamar Miller, the least sexy possible fantasy MVP. I'm telling you guys, he's scoring the points, and no one wants to play him. It's
right? We're sitting there like what the two of the 3 games right before the bye week. He had over 100 yards.
Yeah, and people.
I don't know if I'm going to use him. I don't know.
Courtland Sutton, this like newbie wide receiver for the Broncos. I understand the question, but it's just because like no one wants to like Lamar Miller. But if you look at the numbers, you're like, oh, I think I could like Lamar Miller. Full point Beasley or Reynolds. We said Reynolds earlier in the show. Full point PPR need a flex. Boyd, Collins, and Mack. I also need a tight end, and I have Burton and Cook.
I will go with Collins and Burton.
Yeah, I don't love the matchup for Mack against Tennessee.
Me neither.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Wow. Yeah.
Where the hell did they
came out of the bye, and like all of a sudden, like Marcus Mariota can play football again. That was weird. And then their defense is killing it. Full point PPR need a flex. I have Funchess and Sutton, but wondering if I should drop Funchess and snag Shepard off waivers. I would take Shepard over Funchess, I think. No? Rest of season? Or would you go with Funchess?
Oh, I mean, rest of season, I mean, if you're talking about this week, I would probably go with Funchess only because I think it's going to be a very heavy Saquon Barkley, Odell Beckham, Evan Engram type attack for the Giants here. But, I mean, rest of season, I would probably go with Shepard.
Okay. So would you drop Funchess or Sutton for him?
I would, yeah, I would. I'd probably drop Sutton, actually. Just being the inexperienced guy who really hasn't done a whole hell of a lot since the trade. I mean, you're the Broncos expert. You tell me.
I mean, there's only one game, but yeah. But yeah.
No, what?
No, I agree. I think the other problem is that we have a coaching problem in Denver. We have a quarterback problem in Denver. There are a lot of other offensive line problem in Denver. That just, it's the never-ending story. So I think I'd agree with you. I'd probably do that because also Carolina's just a better football team.
Carolina is a better football team, yes.
And every once in a while, when you're making these decisions, you have to be like, what team's going to score points? Which team is better? And that does help you. Hello, BML and Bender. Hello. Halfway PPR. Tate, Sanders, Larry Fitzgerald, Jordan Howard, or MVS. Thank you. I guess this is for the flex. I still stick with Sanders, I guess.
Yeah, if it's just one, Sanders for me too.
Oh, okay. Hey, Howard. Holla, Brandon. Holla. What about Stephen Hauschka?
What about Stephen Hauschka? He's a kicker. Yes. If he's on your roster, start him. Is this one of those situations where they're like, well, I want to put... Oh, Stephen Hauschka, he's with Buffalo, isn't he?
Yeah, he's on bye.
Yeah. Why are we talking about Stephen Hauschka?
I was looking up, I was like, did we miss news or something? But I would say it doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore. PPR, running back. Riddick, Henry, or Ware?
Ew,
I'm going to say...
Gross. Yuck.
I'm missing Chubb in my life, but that sounds wrong. Haha. Oh, Eduardo. I say Henry because he has a role now, and the role is fourth quarter closer. He only plays in 25% of the team snaps, as opposed to Deion Lewis, who plays in 75%, but they've decided how they're going to use him, and that's the way it is, and it does usually involve a touchdown. So I'm going to go with him.
I agree completely.
Because I have no interest in Riddick or Ware.
Zero.
Thank you. This is just FYI. That's part of it. Russell Wilson or Big Ben? I'm going to go Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I'm going Russell Wilson too. I'm not that I fear the Jags defense right now because their defense has been horrible. But again, Big Ben, are they going to try and avenge this loss that they had to Jacksonville, who spanked them last year? And, but I can't. Russell Wilson, he's got really good consistency, and I think he runs one in for a touchdown tonight.
Yeah. And not only that, but the guy, he doesn't throw the ball much, but when he does, it's a touchdown. Usually to my boyfriend, Tyler Lockett. So, Hi, Baldwin, Lamar Miller, Shepard, or Sutton in non-PPR?
Miller.
Agreed. Even though, again, Howard here feels really good about Baldwin tonight. I feel good about Shepard, but Lamar Miller.
I didn't say I felt good. I just have a feeling. It could just be the indigestion from eating all that popcorn before. I had some sliced mangoes, so the fruit could be doing a little something to my insides too.
Still have my popcorn. It's coming, you guys. It's coming after the show, but I'm not going to eat it while I'm doing the show.
Oh, I am now. That's it. That's it. Here I go.
All right.
Popcorn.
Christian says, "Wow, a lot of questions today, guys. Thanks a lot. Absolutely. We need the help from Dave. Well, don't we all? Any Ravens quarterbacks? Eli Manning, Mariota, or Bortles? I would actually go Mariota here, number 1. Manning, number 2. Then Bortles. Then I don't even think about Ravens. What is your order on that?
That is the exact same order that I have. Listen to that. There's no need to disagree when you given the right answer, Brandon.
I like it. And you know what, you guys? I've been talking about how Manning and Mariota, 2 guys I cannot. I never tell you to start them, you guys. Trust me. This means they're delicious this week because I will do anything I can to tell you to stay away from those guys. So I feel like I have to kind of, I don't know, wash myself or something after this, but it's true. Okay. Hooper or Rudolph in PPR? Hooper's the only one with a good matchup this week, interestingly enough. Kyle Rudolph, the least exciting guy everyone always has to start.
Yeah, I don't understand why everybody hates Kyle Rudolph too. Why?
I hate him. It's just he's on the field all the time. He should be he should be creating more fantasy points, but he's just
Yeah, he's not getting the love from Cousins that I thought he was going to get. Yeah. He definitely isn't.
No,
it's really it's a little disappointing.
I mean, to me, this is going to be a question on Sunday. I think for safety, I guess you'd go Rudolph and then you go Hooper for the upside. I think that I personally think Hooper just has a better matchup, and I like him this week a little bit better. But I get the question. I would ask again on Sunday, Anne. Thank you. Thankfully, I only need 1 in PPR from these misfits. Oh, I love this. Bibbs, Samuels, Ware, Clement. I go Bibbs.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would too, even though he's stunk since Thompson's been out. It's been horrible.
Do you think at least maybe? But I mean, he only has one game of relevance.
No, I'm gonna go with Bibbs too. Bibbs.
So, are people just asking this question because Ware scored a touchdown last week?
That's exactly why they're asking. They're asking the question, which again, it makes. I mean, listen. Yes, do I think that Andy Reid is going to start weaving Spencer Ware in a little bit more as the season goes on? I do. But I think he needs to make – I think he's going to stick with Hunt for the most part until he locks everything up. But, We're
getting a lot of Ware questions. I don't think they're going to be able to run much against the Rams. As in, I think this is going to be a high-scoring shootout, and I just don't see a lot of ground and pound and butt kicking like they have over the last few weeks because they played Arizona, Cleveland, Denver, Cincinnati. If they weren't kicking those 4 teams' rear ends, then they wouldn't be that good of a football team. And that's why Patrick Mahomes' points haven't been as high. That's why they've been putting in Spencer Ware. But now they have to play the Rams? Why would they go to Spencer Ware? At least those are my thoughts, but I don't know. That seems a little crazy to me. I have a running back question. Half-point PPR, need 2. Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, Mark Ingram. Wow. Lamar Miller or Jordan Howard? Wow. Only need 2.
Oh, you only need 2? I'll go Miller and Jones here. I mean, I like Dalvin Cook, but I think Miller and Jones just have the better opportunity to rack up more yardage.
Yeah, no, I agree. Boyd, Deshaun Jackson, or Tate, PPR?
Oh, gross.
I go Jackson.
I'll go with Jackson too. Absolutely.
Giants are tragic.
They are so bad. They've totally quit on the season too.
They
like I know they won the big game against San Francisco.
Yeah. And Manning looked better than he had ever.
He did.
That
no
was the best game of the season. I was like, wow, Eli Manning looks like he can play football. That's really exciting. But I don't see him. I mean, listen, I put him in a lot of like sleeper things because he could put 2 back-to-back games together, but we haven't seen that in a long time. Half-point PPR, MVS or John Brown. I go MVS, people.
I go MVS too.
John Brown is, I don't want to say dead to me, but like tough to resurrect in these conditions. MVS or Christian Kirk. I go MVS.
MVS.
Full point PPR, we don't care. We would do MVS regardless. Half point PPR, MVS or John Brown. We just said MVS. Jalen Richard or Penny.
I mean, there you got to go Richard.
Yeah, you got to go Richard because we're not even quite sure Penny's going to be on the field. Thoughts on Foreman, Deontay Foreman? Yeah, we can't. No. And by the way, Lamar Miller's doing well. Again, you guys, they're not in a desperate situation. I don't know why they would do it. Pick 2, non-PPR. Juju, Cook. I'm thinking, okay, so it must be Jared Cook, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Kenny Golladay, or Brandon Cooks. It's just a singular Cook, so.
Right. I mean, if it's Brandon Cooks, then I'm starting it. Like, only one from this group, right?
Yeah, I think I'd start Juju either way, but.
I mean, I would go with Juju if it was Jared Cook or Dalvin Cook. But, I mean, if it's Brandon Cooks, I mean, again, this matchup with KC, it's going to be a high-scoring, crazy. You're going to want a piece of that. You're going to want a piece of it in your DFS lineups, whether it's cash or GPP. Or, I mean, if you're playing the Monday slate. If you're playing the Monday slate. I keep forgetting it's a Monday night game.
Yeah. Yeah, so there you go, guys. We're saying Juju probably, maybe Brandon Cooks. I'll get a half-point PPR trade question. I give Sony Michel and Corey Davis, and I get Tevin Coleman and Courtland Sutton. I would not do that.
Yeah, me neither.
As far as playing Bills players, haha, yeah, no. I can't believe I'm asking, but Big Ben or Dak Prescott? I have Ben penciled in.
Yeah, I would go with Big Ben probably. I like Dak's matchup here, and I think he can be nice and efficient. But he doesn't throw for heavy yardage. His even with Amari Cooper there, his targets are suspect. Mm-hmm. Oh, I totally just got it. That's why he said Hauschka, because we're like, who starts Bills? What Bills player would you start besides McCoy?
Oh, that must be it. Yes.
You.
Although I think Hauschka's like, why would you start him when they get shut out all the time, though? I'm intrigued by this. But anyway, good answer, though. Good answer. It's a good second place. I agree with you. I think Dak Prescott's more of a GPP dart throw, or if you're someone who's been streaming and like doing weird Andy Dalton things. I have a league like that. By the way, I am not a huge fan of actually streaming quarterbacks. And I say this every year and people always poo-poo me, but whenever I do well in a league, it's when I pair 2 quarterbacks and I just stream them. I don't fight the waiver wire. I don't, get out there and spend my priority or my fab money on quarterbacks, and I'm much happier. It's not cool to say that, but that's genuinely how I feel. But if you're one of the people that has to do that, that's where you use Dak, not over Big Ben, in my opinion.
Don't worry, Brandon. Nobody's ever accused you of being cool.
That's true.
Aww.
0%. 0% of people. Hashtag tears.
Not a chalk play.
No. Which defense, Washington or Arizona? Not a chalk play.
I go Arizona here. Why the hell not? I mean, Oakland has no receivers. They've quit on the season. They've got Doug Martin as their lead running back. They suck.
And I'm not starting Washington because Houston's really good. You guys, Houston keeps winning football games. It's actually very good. It's like Lamar Miller, you guys. It's really happening. So, no.
Like it or not.
Like it or not, it's really happening. Would you start the Steelers or the Ravens defense this week?
I would probably. I think I would start the Steelers here, just against.
Yeah, Jags. Yeah.
Well, I mean, because I'm thinking about it here, because whatchamacallit, the Ravens are playing Cincinnati, and we all know how much we love to pick on Andy Dalton. And now there's no Joe, there's possibly a hurt Joe Mixon, and you still don't have AJ Green?
That's hard.
Whoa, all of a sudden, Brandon, what are we going to do?
Okay, well, I'll say this. My problem with the Ravens defense is they're going to be on the field the whole time. So even though they are excellent, this is not the week I would want to play them because I just genuinely cannot see how this can go well for them. All right. We got Graham or Ben Watson?
Graham.
Yeah, I agree with that. One running back, one flex, non-PPR. Would you go Fournette, Phillip Lindsay, Deshaun Jackson, Courtland Sutton, or Adrian Peterson? Fournette and Lindsay for me.
Yeah, me too.
I was just offered Ingram for Matt Breida. Would you take it? Full point PPR.
Nope.
Okay. I think you're pretty cool, BML, and I'm from California. We know cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm in California. I know cool. Guess what? She's not.
Whoa. All right. Next. Half point PPR. Michael Crabtree. Chris Godwin, who, by the way, has an ankle injury, not practicing. Josh Reynolds. Need one for my flex. I think you got to go Reynolds and cross your fingers because you cannot go Crabtree with that situation, and Godwin being injured is no good. Full point PPR need 2 running backs in a flex. McCaffrey, Collins, Jones, Mack, Kerryon Johnson.
You didn't tell me to get my pen and paper ready.
I know. I thought it was going to be easy, and then I kept reading.
Give it to me one more time. Right? And I just kept scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
I was like, McCaffrey. And then I was like, no, there's 3 people here we need. Okay. So actually, so sit 2. Okay, McCaffrey, Collins, Jones, Mack, Kerryon Johnson.
And we're sitting 2?
Yeah, because we need 2 running backs and a flex.
I am sitting Marlon Mack, and I am sitting Kerryon Johnson. I am starting Jones. I am starting Collins, and I am starting Christian McCaffrey. He's actually pretty good.
Agreed. Non-PPR, anyone confident in Carson? Yes. MVS or Penny Davis are also options for me. Help. Yeah, no, I would go Carson over all those people.
Agreed.
Beautiful. If Marvin doesn't go, do I start Godwin, Eckler, or Smallwood in the flex and PPR? Oh, Anne. Oh.
Is that Anne Dunn?
Yeah.
Oh, poor Anne. I'm sorry. How do you put yourself in that situation here, Anne? Come on. I guess I would probably go with Smallwood as a pass-catching back in a matchup against the Saints. No? Brandon, please.
I hate those. I hate those Philadelphia running backs.
Everybody hates the Philadelphia running backs. But Godwin, I mean, is he going to get the targets? Is he not going to get the targets?
Is he going to be on the field? He's not even practicing.
Hello?
Eckler kind of speaks to me against Denver. I think this game could get ugly, which is my fault. It's not my fault, but it's my team, and I feel like it's my fault.
Your fault. I'm taking a lot on me here, and I probably shouldn't, but... I believe that the demise of the New York Jets is actually Howard Bender's fault.
Yeah. So maybe I need to get some sleep. Okay, non-PPR scoring. I'm losing it. Woo! T.Y. Hilton or MVS tonight?
Go
MVS.
Yeah, I gotta go MVS. I don't like this matchup for Hilton.
Yeah, guys, the Colts scare me. Carson or Mac, PPR. You got to go Carson because we don't know if Mac's going to be okay.
Agreed.
The Bender beard is Cremo the Crop. How's that going, by the way? How are your voting?
I'm getting crushed in the voting. So everybody out there, it's SiriusXM.com/bestbeard. You got to vote for me here. You know what? I'm just going to write SiriusXM.com /best beard. You guys got to get over there and you gotta vote for me, please.
Help a guy out. Come on.
You gotta vote for me here.
Can we vote every day?
You can vote every day. Vote from multiple browsers, multiple computers. Vote from your phone. Whatever you got to do. I need FA Nation to step this up. And really, SiriusXM.com. Can you see it? Can we see it?
Yeah.
SiriusXM.com/bestbeard. I had Mike Babchick from Morning Men on Mad Dog Sports Radio. He was on the show yesterday, and he was talking smack, and it was rightfully so, because FA Nation has not voted enough for me here.
All right. I'm voting for you right now.
That's my pitch. Thank you very much.
I just did it right now. He only has 7% of the vote, people. It's not good enough. You guys know what to do. You know what
That's
to
what
do.
happens when you go away on vacation for like the first week and you don't announce all the voting. You fall behind.
You fall behind, but you know what? We can catch up. Howard, this live feed's going to catch it up. Yes. All right, you guys. Also, while you're doing that, if you want the NFL Playbook Pro for free, well, Fantasy Factor is buying. Because Fantasy Factor has no sharks in it. It's 100% single entry. Just sign up for a new account, make your first deposit, and Fantasy Factor will give you the rest of the NFL season for free. And right now, they're also going to throw in the NBA Playbook Pro for full season 2, all the way through the finals in June, which is crazy. So go to fantasyalarm.com/factor NFL. That is fantasyalarm.com/factor NFL. So you guys have 2 things that you need to do today, and then Howard and I won't go hungry.
I'm starving. I'm going to end up having to eat my own fat ass here before I start dying. I'm going to wither away to nothing.
Is a really horrible visual. Ebron or Doyle this week?
I don't know.
Yeah, roll a dice on that one. I mean, we don't normally want to give that analysis.
I'm going to see Ebron.
Yeah, and especially if you have non-PPR. I don't know how you would not have Ebron at this point. What's in the box? I missed that, by the way, in the show. Go with Graham or go with Watson, tight end. You guys, or pick up Reed. I don't know.
Oh, you know what? Go pick up Reed. Listen, I get it. He's absolutely sucked. And Smith hasn't been vibing with him. He is healthy. He's 100% healthy. I mean, this matchup is really, really. I mean, this is a tasty matchup for Jordan Reed. The coverage numbers for Houston, they're like 30th in the league against the tight end. And the only reason that they're not dead last is because they were on a bye week last week, and other teams gave up points to tight ends. Like, that was why. So Houston's terrible against the tight end. Graham doesn't get into the end zone or rack up big yardage consistently. Ben Watson pulled a big disappearing act last week. We already know that, he's inconsistent. Might as well just take a shot here with Reed and just get a little bit of upside, a little bit.
Yeah, please do. And then Michael Hunter says he dumped Rivers for Wilson. Rivers seems to be trending down. Wilson seems rejuvenated. Smart move or bad? Thanks. I look forward to listening to you on Sunday. I think it's a smart move. I do it every season. Death and taxes, and then Rivers and Wilson. And I talk about it on the show all the time. It's just the trajectory of how they go every single season. So you just got to find that sweet spot and ride it. Ride that pony. Okay.
Hey, by the way, kudos to our producer, Matt Sells. Look down here, right in the middle. Is it here or is it here? Which way am I going? Either way, but it says it right there. SiriusXM.com/ oh, see, I got to go this way. SiriusXM.com/bestbeard.
Yes. Yes. I love it. Okay. Everybody, do it. Do it right now. You know what to do. Non-PPR. No, never mind. We already answered this. If Mixon goes down, Martin, Ware, Reynolds, or Huron?
Reynolds.
Yeah, I would go Reynolds. Although I think Martin's going to be a really solid choice this week. It's going to be like 9 to 11 points, but no upside. 0.
9 to 11 points from your running back. That sounds so yummy.
But when 6 teams on bye, it may be what you need. Wilson or Mariota? I'm still sticking with Wilson.
I am too, 100%.
You like Mariota, though, if you have to stream. Sit 1 PPR. Galladay or Amari Cooper, MVS? Yeah, 5 minutes.
Say it one more time.
Sit 1 in a PPR. It's Galladay, Amari Cooper, MVS.
I'm sitting Cooper. I am. I like Galladay's matchup here.
Yeah. Okay. I just hate that Matt Stafford may not be longer with us. It's just getting killed. Sorry. It's just true. Yeah, this is a different person. Martin Reynolds, where Hurm. Flex PPR, we're going Reynolds again for the upside. Rodgers or Dak this week? We're going Rodgers. We answered that earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone just said, I feel Rodgers is going to drop 30 points. Yeah, he does like to play in prime time against good quarterbacks. Thanks for Brandon. She advised me to play Chubb and Jones. Yeah, well, to be fair, anyone would. Last week, I mean, those were the easiest calls I made of the week. But I appreciate the thank you so much. I just also don't want to walk around getting arrogant about it. You know what I'm saying?
No, you should get arrogant about it, man. Be a badass. Let's do it. Of course, she gave you the right answer because she's freaking Brandon Marianne Lee. Hello.
Some dude tried to call us out for telling people to start the Jets defense against Buffalo, and I want to tell you this right now. If you have someone in your life who told you not to start the Jets defense versus Buffalo, regardless of how it turned out, that person should be fired. Statistically speaking, that was the right call. I have zero apologies to give to you. That person should not be analyzing fantasy football, regular football, or life. No. So I'm not apologizing for that. PPR, sit one. Oh, weird. This one. Carson, Mack, or Collins for running back 2. Need 1. And then add the losers to the flex conversation, which includes Anthony Miller and Austin Hooper. I go Carson and Collins here. It was a complicated question. Ended up not being a complicated answer. Okay, yeah. OJ Howard or Doyle, PPR?
Well, PPR, I think I might lean Doyle here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would too. My wide receivers starting over Evans or Cooks and Adams. Okay, that's fine. Full point PPR flex spot, Ingram, Marlon Mack, or Kenny Golladay?
Full point PPR?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to still go Ingram here. I mean, I know Philadelphia is tough against the run, but I'll bank on Ingram getting some short yardage work.
Yeah, all 3 of those guys are just not my favorite. Brandon is New York cool. Way better than Cali cool. Well, that's true, Ed. Another big week from Mark Ingram?
No, I wouldn't say a big week, but I think that he can get some decent points there.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think? Dak, Cousins, or Fitz? 1 point PPR. It doesn't matter. Debating trading for Goff, but I have Robert Woods. Okay, well, first of all, you don't need any more running back or quarterbacks unless you're in a 2-quarterback league. It doesn't matter if it's PPR because they're quarterbacks, even with the Philly special.
Where do you go here? Give me your thoughts on Fitzpatrick. Because I'm torn. I mean, I know the guy can throw for 300 yards, 400 yards in a matchup against the Giants here.
If you need upside, I think you have to go Fitzpatrick.
If you need the upside there, yeah. But, I mean, he hasn't really been that good. Last couple of weeks, making a lot of mistakes.
Oh, yeah. Well, and he's not going to end the season as their quarterback, I'm sure.
So, yeah. So who would you go with?
To me, you're going to know after this Thursday night game if you need some upside. I think that Fitzpatrick always has that upside. But I like Dak this week. I don't love Cousins this week. So there you go. If you want to trade for Goff, fine. But then you need to trade away one of your quarterbacks because you don't need 4.
No, you don't need 4.
3. So, yeah. 1 point PPR, Coleman or Miller? Miller.
Yeah, Miller.
It's Miller time. Should I start Baldwin tonight? Depends on who other people are. Carson, Cook, or Jones? 1 point PPR.
Carson, Cook, or Jones? I think I'm going to go Carson here. I know that he's going to get run. I know that he's going to get the carries. I know he's going to get the touches.
This guy just responded with, I'm just stacking my quarterbacks to screw others. Well, you're not really screwing people because they're not that good.
Right, and you're just you're
good.
You're wasting bench spots here.
Yeah, I agree. I needed upside. I'm playing Fitz. Plus, he's playing in New York, a place he's familiar with. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Rashad Penny or Marvin Jones with the injury concerns, or wait it out and possibly start Traquan Smith. I'd go Smith here.
Yeah, wait it out and go Smith. Absolutely.
I agree with you. Okay, you guys, it's like 8:00.
Damn.
It happened so fast. I will ask one more question. Full point PPR, Carson or Amari in the flex?
Carson.
I think so too. I know they've been using Amari a lot, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's all crazy. Cool. Okay. Well, you guys, thank you so much to everybody. Someone just said they want to thank you both so much. You've kept me in the first place in all 6 of my leagues, and one is $1,000 buy-in. Oh my goodness! If I win, drinks are on me. John Barclay, thank you so much. That is exactly why we do this. That is huge, by the way. First place in 6 league is crazy. So we're happy to hear that. And we're not always right, but we always are informed. And that is the most important thing. So everybody go out there. Have a great beginning of week 11. I can't believe it. Howard, any other parting words for everybody?
I got nothing. Enjoy the game tonight. Have some fun. And again, I'm taking the Packers plus 3 points. And I'm going to go with the under.
Boom. All right, you guys. Go out there. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.